Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warplanes. Today we're taking a look at the Ta-152C. We have multiple variants of this plane here, German Tier 10, this time with HE bombers as well as torpedo planes. The HE bombers here have pretty high alpha damage, as well as a 78% fire chance and 69 millimeters of pen. Nice. At Tier 10 here, you could go dogfighting, certainly, but of course it's much more effective to go bomb the enemy's strategic targets. That's going to result in many more wins, and I think really where the Ta-152C shines. Especially if you can run it with a few div mates. It's going to be incredibly powerful when you do this. I think this is going to be an excellent plane to get and really, really effective. Honestly, it's a lot of fun to go bomb these targets and see the numbers just go up and up and up. It's really, really satisfying in my opinion. Okay, did I do the bit for long enough? Yeah, we're doing Hildebrand again. This time in a 3-man div. World of Warships, but you may not know it from this game. We are playing World of Warships. The gameplay here, though, looks a lot like World of Warplanes, doesn't it? This is gonna be disgusting. I'm sorry to anyone on the enemy team, and even my own teammates in these games. I'm sorry, this is just game-breaking, game-ruining. I'm going to do my absolute best today to not just go on a 30 or 40-minute rant and just laugh and enjoy the absurdity, okay? I'm not going to rant, we're just going to have a laugh today. That is the whole point. Doing a 3-man div here with Malta, and we picked up, I think, a friend of his as well. But definitely go check out Malta's YouTube and stream in the comments down below, or the description down below. Excellent content creator for World of Warships, and is pretty good in planes too. Yeah, we're gonna be doing some cross drops. We're gonna be syncing up these HE bombers. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. When it comes to Hildebrand in this game, we're actually not gonna do a lot of damage, so maybe it's balanced, right? I've seen that take in a few places. We don't do a lot of damage, therefore it's fine. I'm not gonna rant about that, but that is a take that exists, and I'm shocked, actually, because there's much more to the interesting, dynamic gameplay of World of Warships than purely the damage output. Shimakaze really trying to get away here, and unfortunately for him, we get a perfectly accurate drop, even though we did not actually get the reticle down to its minimum size, so we land a torp, and he's getting cross-dropped. I'm just gonna laugh. I'm not gonna rant. I'm just gonna laugh, guys. That is it. I will say I have not played Hildebrand since running the div this day. As promised, I did try it in a div, and it's kind of ridiculous, as we thought. But I really have tried not to play this ship again since, because I just feel so bad. I feel so bad doing this. It was really funny on the day, but nope. I gotta stop. I can't do it. Oh, we just ran ourselves right through that flat cloud, and our heal has us back up to full HP by the time we drop. Oh, the fighter's even hooked onto us. We still got our drop through. Nice 12k hit there into Napoli. Maybe against Napoli we don't feel as bad, but I still feel bad, guys. Absolutely run over the enemy team here on the C-cap. And now the enemy team is going to be stuck down at A. And if you know anything about the gameplay meta of World of Warships, you know... Malta with the drop to finish off the Napoli. Very good. If you know about any of the meta here on World of Warships, especially at Tier 10, you're going to know that as soon as you give up 3/4 of the map, your team is pretty much lost. And that's what's going to happen to this enemy team here. Using island cover here to keep our planes from taking any damage at all, we get all 3 torps off on the Ohio, which is protected by Edgar and Republic AA. Doesn't matter, because island cover does not work against airplanes. You gotta camp the back of the map, not camp behind islands. That's the difference here. Not gonna rant, nope. That could be the start of a rant. Nope, we're not gonna do that. Shimakaze here getting dropped by our div mates, and that allows us to just use our guns and hopefully hit him. I am gonna be honest here. I miss a lot of drops in this video. I miss a lot of my main gun shots. I miss position a lot. Part of that is because I probably wasn't playing very well with the airplanes, not the best with the planes in this game. But part of that was also I was laughing too hard, that it was pretty difficult to focus and concentrate 100% on what was going on. All right, we have our planes back. Lovely. Now we get to go drop Ohio or Edgar yet again because they're playing around islands. It's really, really nice when you're playing the planes and you can get so close to the enemy ships without taking any AA damage at all. These planes are a bit squishy, especially the torpedo planes. Typically into even a solo Ohio, you're probably not going to get all 3 torps off unless, you know, you use island cover like that. You're going to be typically losing 1 plane on the drop. A nice feature of this ship, of course, is that they're tactical squadrons, so you're not dealing with the reloading of planes at all. It's just purely every time this consumable, because it's effectively a consumable, is recharged, you just get a whole new squadron of planes. There's nothing really to think about there as far as getting punished for making mistakes. Not a rant, just an observation, okay? Just an observation here. Really, the special squadron here is going to be these HE bombers. I hope that they nerf it a lot. Much like Louisiana, I actually played Louisiana recently, and I was surprised at how much worse the reticle dispersion was on those bombers. It made it quite difficult to actually hit targets. That dive bomber reticle is also an oval, so your approach angle does matter as well. So many things that make Louisiana bombers much, much worse. And they were pretty strong on release. They nerfed the dispersion on them. So hopefully they do that for this ship as well. Why are the torps so accurate when I don't fully aim them, by the way? That's another thing. Not a rant, just an observation, but hey, why are the torpedoes very accurate when I don't fully get the dispersion down to its minimum, right? The torp reticle shows that they should spread out a lot, and yet they just go perfectly straight at the target I'm aiming at. Seems a little bit odd. Anyways, we have pretty much exactly the same amount of damage as spotting. It's kind of difficult to out-damage your spotting at times, because it's just so good at spotting enemy ships for your teammates. And yeah, the damage can be a little bit lacking at times, especially when you compare it to some other tier 10 cruisers. There's certainly some pretty insane cruisers at this tier, and when it comes to farming average damage. So when you look at the ship in that light, yeah, maybe it could use some buffs to its damage output as we go double drop this Ohio. We're gonna run right through a Ohio flak bubble, by the way, and be totally... Oh no, he got 1 plane! Look at that, he got a plane away from us. So, 2 planes even. Okay, there we go. Maybe you do need to... Oh, we still got 16,000 damage. Guys, it's... I'm not gonna rant. We're just gonna laugh. Laugh through the pain, it's fine. Ohio, is it fine? It's fine, right? I'm sorry. Malta there with the last little bit on the Ohio for those dive bombers. Yeah, so every 5 minutes or so, you're going to be really, really worried anytime you're fighting a Hildebrand. Certainly a Hildebrand division. It's very, very scary because that's when they get these insanely powerful dive bombers. So you get a brief reprieve from it, and then they're back for another drop every, maybe even 4.5 minutes, I suppose. Pommern going to go down as well. We only get the 1 torp, but hey, do manage to finish him off, and still our damage is being outpaced by our spotting. We're playing a little bit too safe here, perhaps, but there's been games where we were in Hildebrand and we fought a bit of a war. I'll show that game towards the end, but get to an island and then enemy Hildebrands coming after you, enemy carriers coming after you. I was also running, I think, a secondary AA-focused build as well in these games, so the main guns certainly could be a little bit better if you focused on them, but I was trying to get as much AA defense as possible, which often buffs your secondaries as well. So I figured, hey, why not? Let's get the secondaries up to their maximum range of 12.5 kilometers. Yeah, you get the full tier 10 German battleship range on this thing. Not the accuracy, though, certainly. Not the accuracy, so the damage isn't going to be quite there. How rude! My teammates finished off the Georgia, so now my torp bombers were useless. That's kind of annoying. Also, to speak about the secondaries a bit, their firing angles are pretty bad, so to get the max DPM out of one side, you got to give 50 degrees of angle forwards and 59 backwards, so it's not a secondary ship. It'd be funny if it was, honestly, that'd be pretty hilarious, but no, it's not. Oh, look at us dodge! The nimble Hildebrand juking the Yamato at 10 kilometers. That might have been more just his aim point, I guess. I don't know, but it maneuvers surprisingly well once it's at speed. It's just really slow to get going and to stop is the idea here. Teammates are going to take out Yamato. Yodo is going to be all that is left. We've done over 100,000 damage, which is decent. 104,000 spotting damage in this one. And a decent example of triple Hildebrand being totally fine, perfectly balanced. Nothing wrong with it, right, Wargaming? We don't need to limit the number of hybrids in a division, do we? No. No. We wouldn't. That's not a problem at all. And that's not amazing damage for... I'd be pretty disappointed with 100,000 damage in a tier 10 cruiser. Especially one that is supposed to be so strong, right? Moving on, we've got a lot of games to get through. In fact, I played so many on this day that I can't even show you every match. We'll just do some of the highlights of most of these. Early game, of course, what do? You launch 3 torpedo bomber squadrons and cross-drop people. And go spot the entire team. That's the other thing you can do with it. So Hipper pushing in. Poor Hip. I mean, tier 8 into this. So we're going to go from the side. Divmate's going to go from the front. And... well, he's going to take someone's torps, I guess, is the idea here. And that kind of reminds me of old carriers, old RTS carriers, does it not? The cross drops. Although Hipper turns enough that I only get 1 torpedo, so pretty good. And then Malta's got another squad going. We have ourselves a Hydro, we have ourselves main guns, so this is Ashio. Will be spotted and will take some damage. Although when he's angled, our dispersion is not amazing. Again, I'm probably being a little bit silly when it comes to this build, where I'm going mostly for secondaries and AA damage. But hey, instead of shooting our guns again, why don't we use our planes to force him to turn, give us broadside, give our main guns broadside, and then that way we'll get even more damage. And also, at the same time, just spot this guy. So our torps are going to force him to turn, and then, oh, look at that. Another one has torps up. Poor Azashio, man. I'm sorry. I got to say it again. Everyone we fought, I apologize. This is not fair. The Azashio's so low. Can we finish him off? Looks like there's a gap in our dispersion there, and unfortunately, we actually don't finish off the Azashio there. Oh, look, the fun bombers are up. So, hey, guess what, Hildebrand? It's a 3v1. I don't think this is going to go so well for you. Yeah, this guy is going to go down. It's a simple matter of the numbers. The math is very basic here. And in fact, we only send 2 of our bombers because, honestly, that should be enough. I'm going to fly right through the flak bubbles and not take any damage, of course, because we have a ridiculous heal on these bombers. All of our planes survive. We do 13,500, and oh, there goes the Azashio, and so does the Hildebrand. That's our flank cleared. Now I'm actually going to lose a lot of HP pushing out here, and I'm going to eat a ton of torpedoes. So I was pretty close to dying. Maybe we need a torpedo protection buff. Wu Jing here pushed up a little bit too far, and now is trying to turn away. Guess what, though? We have torpedo squadrons ready to hit every torpedo when you give us broadside. And we also have some A-gear main guns that, when they cooperate, do some very, very nice damage. So Wu Jing is going to lose a lot of HP here. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. A lot of blowouts, man. A lot of blowouts. More than usual, I would say, when you're doing a div like this. It's not necessarily because, we're only at 60k damage. Like, that's not even that good, right? But the spotting, man. The early game spotting, allowing everyone on your team to not only know where enemy ships are, but to shoot at them as they're trying to get into position. It's powerful. It's very, very powerful. Some might even say game-breaking. But we're not going to rant. We're not going to rant. All we're going to do is point and laugh. That's what we're going to do. Not at the people playing the game, but at the game balance, I suppose. Onwards to our next game. Very pitiful damage in that one, yeah? Maybe we'll get a little bit more in this one. We'll see. Early game, of course. Launch 3 torpedo squadrons and then go drop someone. All right, we've activated Lucian's actually twice now, getting 7 spotted ribbons here. It looks like the entire enemy team is coming to the north. So we're going to have to be a little bit careful. Fortunately, there's a nice cove for us to go hide in and launch planes from. So we might be going to do that. Get 2 torps on the Iparanga there, and unfortunately I had HE loaded, so I don't have the armor piercing for that Hindenburg broadside my div mates were spotting. But they did some decent damage as well. Oh look, torpedo bombers are up. We're almost at our safety cove here. And there's Des Moines and Iparanga pushing in. So, it looks like Des Moines is going to turn into these torpedo bombers that my div mates will drop. So why don't we just go around the side real quick? These planes are very fast. And drop him from his side. Not maybe my best timing, I suppose. Des Moines will be able to turn in. We did not get the accuracy we wanted, although RNG says, hey, don't worry, I got you. You'll still hit both your torps anyway. Maybe it's not RNG, maybe it's coded that if you do even a little bit of aiming, like letting the dispersion reticle narrow, it'll just automatically give you perfect accuracy. I don't know. Des Moines spotted broadside, and it looks pretty good, but the shells go just a bit short, unfortunately. But hey, we have our planes almost up, at least the torpedo bombers, but I'm actually not going to use them because the Iparanga here is at 2 kilometers. A little bit scary, but guess what? We have a 27mm bow. Iparanga cannot get through that, so really it's just his secondaries. I don't get citadels there. Maybe I aimed a little bit too far forward. He hits our belt armor, does not do any damage. Des Moines pops out broadside as well. And maybe you recognize this position from the first 2 clips in the video. You may know what's coming here. Spoilers, sorry about that. Malta is going to get the Iparanga. I'm going to launch my torpedo bombers to hopefully deal with this Des Moines. Maybe force him to go broadside or just finish him off with these torpedo bombers. Probably should have just used the main guns, honestly, but we'll drop them anyway. And here it comes, guys. Here it comes. We're going to take some damage. Certainly, Musashi shells are going to hurt. There we go. We get the Des Moines kill, and we're getting low, but hey, we got ourselves a heal. 2 squadrons launched. I'm a little bit late on the 3rd. This Musashi has 80,000 HP. 80,000 HP, guys. He's behind an island. Oh boy, 1 squad drop. That's 60. 2, that's down to 50. All right, my turn. And he's down to 40. That's 40,000 HP gone. Holy dude, that's crazy. But hey, that's perfectly fine and balanced according to the game, I suppose. Nothing wrong with this. Nothing bad to see here. He does another 10k to us. That overmatch is painful. Man, overmatch. Can we talk about that? That's so broken. I'm sorry. I'm not a huge fan of overmatch, but in the context of what we're doing here, pretty minor issue in my opinion. Musashi here probably going to go down before we even get those torpedoes off. So again, probably should be using those main guns a little bit more. Oh, there's also a Harlem here, by the way. I just noticed that as I'm recording this. Totally forgot. There's another dive bomber squad? Oh, we have a Nebraska too. Oh, this poor enemy team, man. This poor enemy team. What do you do against World of Warplanes? I guess the intro was correct, eh? Welcome to World of Warplanes, guys. I know you thought you downloaded World of Warships, but hey, this is actually a plane game. Iparanga here probably going to kill us. We're very, very low. And I should be trying to reverse around this island to get behind cover. We barely get to our heel. The secondaries, though, will do some damage to us. And for some reason, I turned the other way. Maybe I don't know. Again, just playing badly, I suppose. But it's just too funny, man. It's hard to concentrate. It's hard to concentrate and try hard in every match. You know what I'm saying? So we'll get some damage into his superstructure, and I mean, this poor enemy team, man, just absolutely corralled into the corner. What do you do against it, man? What do you do? I don't know. I don't have an answer for you, to be honest. They even had the Pan American battleships to just full send at us, and that still didn't work. Crazy. But you know what? We only got 85,000 damage. That's kind of weak, isn't it? All right, on to our second last game, I think I have to show you. This is going to look a lot like old RTS carriers. Instead of sending all of our squads towards one flank, What if early game we decided one squad goes north, one squad goes middle, and one squad goes south? Then we might just spot the entire enemy team in the first few minutes, and there's nothing they can do about it. Maybe that would happen. These planes are really fast too, so even though they don't have the most HP on the planes, I guess, they still survive a lot, especially the dive bombers, but that's more thanks to the ridiculous heal they get. It almost feels like a super heal, like you're playing a Conqueror or a Vincent or something. So now we've spotted, I think we've spotted 11 out of the 12 ships on the enemy team, so pretty nice to give our team that heads up. Moskva makes it to the island. Moskva makes it to that island. Where have I seen this before? Yeah, it's coming. But hey, first we got to deal with the Smolensk. We will spot him for our teammates, hopefully to do some damage, but also run right through flak and still get our torpedoes off. Moskva is there, Smolensk is there. There's some decent AA ships there. And we still managed to land that one torpedo. Oh, by the way, thank you guys for pointing out in the comments on the initial Hildebrand videos that I should be taking the extra torpedo damage skill. It's so much better. The torps do a lot more damage. Thank you. That's what this ship needed, is just more buffs, I think. We'll go again for the Smolensk, mostly to spot, but maybe we can hold him in a very predictable turn, and our Mecklenburg or Moskva, who is on his broadside, you know, we can force him to stay broadside to them, unless he wants to eat our torpedoes too, right? So hopefully they get a good hit in. We actually hit a torpedo anyway. Those bombers are coming up, right? We're approaching, I guess it's 4 minutes, 25 seconds? I guess? By 1540, we have them cooled off, so our consumable there is ready to go. That's scary, man. Within... Oh, that's a little scary. All right, here it comes. One squad launched. Our div mates are both going to launch their squads as well. 35,000 HP on this Moskva here. We fly right through all the flak bursts, and our planes are still healthy enough to launch everything. 20,000 damage from us. And then, well, I think you know the rest. Yeah, I'm sorry, Moskva. I'm so sorry. Oh, and then the Smolensk dies too. Oh no, man. Oh no. Well, it's fine. We only have 37,000 damage. That's actually weak. That's actually not very strong. Now let's go deal with this Kremlin, or just happen to spot the Z-52. We force him to smoke up, I suppose, is the benefit here. And, well, this game is quickly getting out of hand for the enemy team. Dealing with the Kremlin here, I think we actually get all 3 torpedoes off on him, which is kind of surprising. No, he actually shoots one down right at the last second. Kremlin has decent AA values, but anytime a Kremlin takes HE damage, it's going to destroy most of the AA on his ship, because that was one of the nerfs they gave to Kremlin way back in the day, is made the secondary and AA mounts HP cut in half or a quarter or something like that. So just a touch of HE and you lose most of your AA mounts, which is unfortunate. Z-52 is out of his smoke, trying to get away. Sure would be a shame if planes were to come over and spot him. I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. We're spotting for our teammates too. You know, ideally, I probably, you know, don't watch the drop, and I would go back to my ship and shoot him with the spotting that my planes are giving. But hey, we'll watch the drop as we take him out there. GK here trying to deal with the rest of our teammates. Well, he's either got to go broadside to the Mecklenburg or angle to us, and honestly, there's not enough reaction time here. Look at how quickly we're able to get these planes up. I doubt he's even able to move his rudder fully from a neutral position to fully turned by the time those torps were launched all the way to dropped. Decent damage, but hit some torp protection, so, you know, could be better. Okay, this is broken. This is... I mean, everything's broken, let's be honest. But this... Shimakaze torp spotted. We know generally where he's at. The enemy cap gets, I think, halted here. Actually, no, it doesn't. But we know generally where they're at. And crucially, we know when our squad gets spotted. So then we know exactly where the shim is going to be as far as his distance away from our squadron. So I'm going to just guess he's going south, and we guessed correctly. 300 HP. That Shimakaze would have been difficult to deal with had we not just been able to fly over and spot him. That's fine, right? Ragnar hopefully going to finish him off. Keep an eye out for those 2 battleships in the north, by the way, as the Ragnar does finish the Shima. Because the funny bombers are out. Goodbye, Yamato. And GK has got a little bit more HP, but yeah, that's a little bit of damage, I suppose. And we only do 86,000 damage in this one. Quite weak for a tier 10 cruiser, in my opinion. Maybe we gotta buff it, right? Buffs? Anyone? Anyone for buffs? I'm down. I'm down. World of Warplanes, I'm down. Let's have more of these. I'm obviously being very sarcastic. It's one of 2 choices, guys. Either I become super sarcastic and just laugh at everything, or I just get like rant for like 30 or 40 minutes about this, right? That's our choices here. So in this one, I'm choosing to be sarcastic and rant and not rant and just laugh at the absurdity. Here we get hooked by Essex fighters. Wisconsin has AA, where we're gonna just fly through flak bursts, and our planes go down to what, half HP, 4,000 HP, and we still get 5 of our 6. It's absolutely insane, man. This heal is ridiculous what it can do, man. How do you fly through that and still get a drop? It's Oh, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny, I gotta say. In this is the one where we were having a bit of a war, Malta and I, on this one. So lots of AA damage in this one as well. Oh, here we're gonna, in a cyclone, go spot where the bungo is so he can't surprise our teammates. And hey, wouldn't it be nice if we were able to turn the bungo so he's spotted and broadside when our Preussen gets in range to deal with him? That would be nice if we were able to do that, wouldn't it? And this game is the reason why, by the way, I was too tucked in on this island in the earlier match. If you were noticing that positioning, not allowing me to shoot very often. It was a little bit too safe playing that. This is the game. This is why. This is a bit of a war over this island, but didn't really do much damage, so a little bit more boring. I'd rather show this, where bungo is forced broadside. Ooh, our Ohio is wanting us to support him. Well, guess what? I got torpedo squads ready to go, Mr. Ohio. Let's do this. GK playing well. He's angled, he's pushing an Ohio, getting close, so his 32mm penning secondaries are going to do good damage to that Ohio bow. What if we were to force him to turn broadside to that Ohio at closer ranges? That might be good. Or, if he doesn't do that, well, he's going to eat all of these torpedoes. Or maybe not. We take a bunch of flak bursts. We do not aim fully, and the torpedoes are still perfectly accurate. So guess what? We're going to get some very nice damage in onto him. And, well, Ohio probably finishes him off. Bungo also about to be finished off by that Preussen. It's really cool how you're just able to, whenever you want to, manipulate the enemy ships into different positions, forcing them to give broadside, or if not, just take free damage. That's a good mechanic. Essex here gets spotted by us, and maybe we'll get a shot with our guns. If I was a little bit more attentive, maybe I would have had that. Bit of a rush drop, though, to be honest. So only 1 torpedo hit, but we know where he is, so our divmate, or our teammates in this case, can go hunt him down. We would rather support Malta in this case and help him deal with the submarine. We're going to drop the ASWs, launch the funny bombers, and do some decent damage, although those looked right on top of that sub, and yet we only got splash damage. A little unfortunate. For some reason, he's staying on the surface, so I'm assuming Malta's got this. And, oh look, a Zal! Sure would be interesting if we ate a giant flak burst and just healed all the way through it. Notice how our planes are getting back to full HP after going down to half HP, and we didn't lose a single plane. And then we do 11,000 damage to the Zal. That's pretty cool. It's just an observation. It's fine. It's totally fine. The Zal had fun, I think, right? I'm pretty sure. Oh, look, our torpedo squad's back up. I haven't even talked about the reload. I suppose that's just a given, right? Considering we're playing World of Warplanes, we should be flying our planes around in a game called World of Warplanes, right? Yeah, see, Zhao had fun. Zhao had a lot of fun. It's sarcasm. It's sarcasm. I'm not trying to flame this guy or anything. I feel really badly, actually, so I will apologize yet again if I haven't enough. Poor Hirigamo. Malta had the funny bomber, so I don't know how much damage he did, but certainly got hits. We get 2 torpedo hits as well. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Nothing wrong here. Nothing wrong here. Hirigamo has had enough, so he's going to shoot his guns, and I mean, yeah, it's pretty much just game over in this one. But hey, that's Hildebrand. Hildebrand, right? It's no problem. It's not a problem. It's in the game, and it's not going to be an issue at all. I expect to see this in clan battles and in Kings of the Sea, though, if it's not a problem, right, guys? Surely you would put it in competitive if it's not a problem, right? I think so. Now, don't hear that wargaming and actually put it in competitive, because then I would have the competitive people not very happy with me. Don't do that. Actually, don't do that, because it would be miserable to have carriers in competitive. Only 100k in this game. Low damage yet again. So maybe it needs buffs. Maybe it just... All right, to be serious a little bit here at the end of the video, I really don't know why Wargaming released this ship in this state. It's just absurd. Hopefully it's not going to be very popular. After the first week, I haven't seen terribly many of them. Maybe it just was a flash in the pan and it's over now, so we don't have to worry about it. But this is an example of what you can do in the game, because Wargaming does not limit the number of hybrids you can have. And especially when you release a hybrid with this level of aircraft, right? You're essentially a carrier that can push up and use guns and hydro to play aggressively. So yeah, it's a little bit wild. Hopefully it gets nerfed. We saw Louisiana get nerfed a little bit later after its release, and those bombers do have a much worse reticle now. I still don't like it, even if the planes do no damage. I've already said this, but even if the planes don't do any damage, the spotting is just so busted that it just in itself wins games on its own. It's just overpowered. It does not fit the way the game plays as a surface ship. When I'm talking about this, of course, I'm talking about the 3 classes, the game balance between battleships, cruisers, and destroyers, which is pretty good. It's just these 2 other classes that tend to screw it up, unfortunately. But as for the build here, I was running secondaries. I did switch back towards aiming systems, because as you saw in some of these matches, running the secondary build made the dispersion really bad. But I was, for the most part, actually running the secondary build, and we still did pretty well. Not by damage, I suppose, but yeah, Pack-a-Punch, pretty nice, pretty nice, pretty nice, gotta say. I was running full AA, and some of those games we needed it, especially in that last one, kind of a war where the Essex enemy Hildebrands were all coming after us as well on that island, so nice to have that extra AA, so just to help you deal with those planes. And yeah, I mean, I don't really have much more to say. I've kind of said my piece, I feel like, as far as why I don't like this ship and why I don't like carriers. So to have a little more fun with it as the last video on Hildebrand, I hope that's all right. I hope you enjoyed kind of laughing at the ridiculousness that is this ship. And that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.